Hey, Doug McCon of RealityMe.net here, which the site's down today. Anyhow, oh, that's cool. Got my Rode Wireless 2 Go has these blue lights that are shining through my beard, so that's kind of cool. Dude, it's box time. I got a box. You know, I love sharing the opening of boxes. What I really want to get into is the review of the products. This cracked me up. Here is a Priority Mail package, and when I open it up, inside of it is another Priority Mailbox. So let's get the tape off of this one. Never cut towards yourself like what I'm doing right now. Do as I say and not as I do. That's the best advice I can give you. Do what I say, not as I do. I think that's what I said to my children their whole lives. Do as I say, not as I do. All right. They really wrapped this one up good. Papers. Okay. Oh, you know what? I better make sure. Very large lined paper. I should practice my handwriting. You know what? This came from Anderson Pens. That may actually be writing paper. Now, I normally I shop from a few different pen companies. Everybody knows Goulet. Brian Goulet is way up there. Top notch. So, you know, you can always count on Brian Goulet at gouletpens.com. And there's several others, you know. Birmingham Pens up in Pennsylvania. I used to, I don't shop from them often. I don't know if, hopefully he's still around. Small shop, good guy. And he got me my Knox pens, which were Chinese pens with this German nib on it or something. They felt really good in your hands, but they evaporated ink real quick. So normally what I use in my life, keep me organized, is this thing. It is called a Techo. A Techo is a journal. It's a combination journal planner. And just look at that. That's great. And it's a Hobonichi Techo. And what you do is you buy these reusable covers, and I've got a couple of them in different colors. So I kind of alternate year to year. Probably should buy a newer one. They do get a little worn, but they've got a pocket here that you can put like this. This is my week's calendar, and what I'll do is, you know, this is, I don't think there's anything too personal on here. So this one I haven't really done it much this week, but what I'll do is I'll write out my entire week here so that at a glance I have the tasks that I'm trying to accomplish, my focuses, meetings, all that's right here. It's very thin, very light. It's a Tomei River paper, so it works really, really good with my fountain pens. The ink goes on a little wet, so you do have to let it dry. But what this does is it slides right here. So you just always have your weeks with your actual planner. Now this one's full of very personal information, so I don't really want to show you how I use that one right now. And I've got other videos where I've shown you using these things. So this is the 2024. Now, when I first started buying these, I think the very first one I had didn't have a word of English in it. And you can get them where they're all Japanese. And you'll notice that the instructions, they do come with a complete page of kanji, but there's also English explaining it. And what this is a nice, it's probably half an inch thick. It's A6. I love the smell of new paper. And you know, you've got your months designated right there. And when you open it up, it's a gridded paper. This is a Tome River, again, almost like an onion skin that works really well with fountain pens. It's got the phases of the moon, and then it'll have some inspirational quote or something down here. In the front, I'll write a bunch of poetry that moves me, and life mission stuff will be up here in the front. You know, and I do it different every year. Matter of fact, last year I didn't even do it at all. So the only one I put in there was some of you guys may be able to read my handwriting or not, but it's I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. Attack ships on fire off the shoulder of Orion. I watch sea beams glitter in the dark near the Tannhauser Gate. All of those moments will be lost in time, like tears in the rain. Time to die. Those are going to be my last words. But usually I have, I've got some Hunter S. Thompson quotes in there. I've got some on Walden Pond type stuff. You know, it's stuff that moves me. And that goes in the front. And then what you've got is you've got calendar references, and I actually use these. I'll do a thing where I've got designations for what's important, you know, camping and this kind of stuff, and then I'll cross out the days as I go, and I note my camping trips and important meetings and whatnot in the very front there. Then as you get into different views, they have a 4-month view where you can do this. And this is where I do kind of summaries of what happened that day, where I'll do the most major personal thing that I accomplished and the most major professional thing I accomplished. I'll put holidays and things, you know, if I'm going out of town, it'll be noted vertically here. And then at the very top, I'll summarize the month so that I can look on these pages and say, what did I do last month? Where was my focus? Where was my time spent? What did I accomplish? It's all on these pages. And this is where it acts both as a planner for the future, it acts as a journal for the past, and a focus for the present. So as you go through, you get your month view, of course, with space down here for planning, space over here for planning, and then I have a whole kind of system I use where I have symbols that I put in at the top of each month to indicate, you know, did I remember to take my blood pressure medicine is actually one of them. I'll say that. But I have symbols up here that indicate a status for me for the day. And then as the day finishes, I'll cross through it. Not only do I put in the important stuff here, like when a bill is due or a meeting's coming up, but usually there's enough space that after I put the slash, I can put my business summary up here and my personal summary down here. So again, I've kind of got a glance of what's going on every day of the month with these summaries, and then what I can do is translate that back into that other page I was talking about. And that's how I take the minutia and kind of grow it into a bigger picture where I can look and say, am I hitting my personal goals? Am I staying on task to my personal mission statement? And this is a big help. So then, anyhow, I won't go through every page of it, obviously, but you get into some future planning. So for the next year, you can come up, and then you get into the actual days. And the way this works is it's just free form. You can do it like a bullet journal. Some people are very artistic and draw pictures and things. I use a lot of the space because what I'll do is I'll go through my day as, you know, about every hour I'll write down, okay, what have I been doing? What have I been doing? What have I been doing? And it keeps me on task and helps me realize where I'm wasting time. Then in the back, you're going to have your typical calendar references. There's a bunch of blank pages that you can freeform stuff. I'll put holiday notes in there, you know, throughout the year. If somebody says, oh, I need such and such, I might put it down as, oh, for Christmas, consider this. And then the very back, of course, you're going to have your 100 things to accomplish in the year. Oh, they've changed it up. They have an interview with myself now, so stuff to motivate you. If I had a week off, I would. Interesting. Oh no, where's the? Oh, there it is. Usually there's some cultural reference stuff in here. Yeah, I enjoy the cultural reference stuff. There used to be a ruler and conversion tables and stuff like they're still there. There's the ruler and size charts and that kind of stuff that you see in all these planners, and of course important contacts. So that's a Hobonichi Techo, and there, like I said, there's a week's version here. So what I'll do is I follow Stephen R. Covey's First Things First. So every Sunday I'll sit down and think about the week ahead, and I'll think about my 7 roles: homeowner, employee, blah blah blah, father, and I'll say what are the things I'm going to accomplish in these roles this week, and I'll schedule it out into the week view. And so again, this is a condensed version of what we just looked at, so it's still got some of the same features, but what it does for me is it kind of takes that and lets me leave this open on my desk where I can say I'm not going to miss a meeting. This is good stuff. Now let's get to the juice. The juice, the actual juice. So I'm a fountain pen guy. This is a TWSBI, TWSBI 580AL. AL because it's got some aluminum on it, which you actually have to be careful with it. There's can be a reactance between the aluminum and certain inks, but it's clear. It's a they call this a demonstrator pen. And right now I ran out of ink, so what I've been doing is putting distilled water in here. What's remarkable is a lot of people will take their pens and clean them out. If you're going to swap inks, you don't want the previous dye mixing with the next one. They're hard to clean. Unless you have an ultrasonic cleaner, you're never going to get all the dye out. So what I have done is I've gotten to the point where I have dedicated pens. Like this pen is my dedicated invisible ink pen. That's invisible ink. And this is my dedicated kind of burnt orange pen. And this ink I love. And what I've done is I usually match the colors. You'll notice that in the invisible ink, this is a luminescent pen, so it glows. And so I've got a black pen and blah, blah, blah. But I had run out of ink, and I've been using distilled water, and it's getting really kind of faint. It works for a while, but the ink that I really, really enjoyed in that pen is called a Herbin. I think it's J. Herbin. Orange Indian. This is a fantastic ink, and that's 30 milliliters of ink, so this will last me the next decade. Good stuff. If you're not into fountain pens, you ought to try it out. And when you get it, and regardless of what planning you do, Hobonichi Techo. I usually get mine from Jet Pens. They were sold out. AndersonPens.com is where I got this one. Anderson and Jet I put on par for customer service, pricing, and whatnot. They're 2 great companies. They're kind of my go-to, and if I really need something special, I'll go to Goulet. You've been watching Doug.